Hi YouTubers, this is another video from your friendly neighborhood reviewer Evelyn. So today we're going to be reviewing, I think it was episode 10 of Superman and Lois. Haven't done the other videos because there wasn't that much of the inspiration, to be honest. Because the main plot for season 3 of Superman and Lois is Lois's cancer storyline. This particular series, I believe they cut it from 18 episodes to 15. I don't know how they're gonna close it off because we had that sneak peek of Lex Luthor that's gonna be introduced, that they're gonna give him a beard, that guy from The Walking Dead. But I don't know how they're gonna tie it. Maybe they'll introduce Lex Luthor by the last episode. It's been kind of like hinting about Lex Luthor. We got like a sneak peek of a little teaser trailer, but so far we haven't had any real appearance of Lex, apart from the fact that he had dealings with Bruno Mannheim. Because with season 3, it's a storyline of very human related topics with Clark and his wife and his kids. And of course we have the other side of the coin of the bad guy of this series, take it for what you will, Bruno Mannheim and his wife Pia, which we find out that his wife Pia has the power similar to the Black Canary in my eyes. So I don't know what came first with Pia's cancer storyline. That was the cancer a response to her mutant abilities? Because I think it was throat cancer. I don't remember the particular details. This particular episode I want to emphasize is the secondary character, or even the third character of Kyle, Lana's now ex-husband. He's got together with Chrissy, the other person working in the newspaper in Smallville with Lois. Now, the scene that I have going to explain and give my reactions to when I saw it was, why make Kyle the annoying person? Kyle is a character, is the stereotype of the high school jock or football player that their only peak or highlight in their life was in high school, and when high school finishes they had like no other use. I get that Kyle wants to find out who's been saving people around the town. I get that because we see that Jordan is now coming to his own as Superboy. Hopefully they'll improve his uniform, and he's trying there to help people over eagerly, and he wants to find his own place. But however, Jonathan was in last episode working with Kyle in the firehouse, since Kyle's a fireman, and Jordan ended up saving some people in the firehouse, including I think it was Jonathan, but Kyle left him stumped because he initially thought that Jonathan or John went in there prematurely without no training to save people and put himself in danger, which left Jonathan in a bad place, and Jordan realizing that he's overreaching his place in people's lives, because he needs to realize that Superman can't be everywhere, a superhero person, unless they can, split themselves in 10 different ways. Is impossible. That's life, no matter how quick somebody is. You can't go from point A if there's multiple casualties in different areas. It's not like you could be in the same place at the same time. That's life. Despite how fast the Kryptonians is, Superman, they can't be in the same place, in 5 different places at the same time. So I get that. Part I think it's lagging in season 3. Too much of the melodrama, not enough of the conclusions, because I would have liked to see more deeper details of Lois's recovery, because episode 10 is basically Lois's last cancer treatment, and I believe afterwards she's gonna get the surgery and the mastectomy. So that's probably going to happen next. Okay, so the scene that I saw was Kyle going to Clark's house to confront Clark, saying, "Oh, I know that Jordan has superpowers." But in that moment, Lois is in the DOD interrogating Pia, Bruno Mannheim's wife, because his wife is dying of cancer, and Superman told Bruno Mannheim in the other fights in episode 9 that, to allow him to take his wife to, the military base so she can get some treatment. So they've been holding her in another way as a patient, but as, of course, a prisoner. Bruno Mannheim and Pia, at the end of the day, are gangsters. No matter how much they try to explain it due to X, Y, and Z, they still, are gangsters. And in episode 9, we have also that John Henry show more his brutality a little bit, because of course this hits home to him, since his doppelganger of Clark's Earth had interactions with Bruno Mannheim and got murdered by Pia. So his judgment's a little bit clouded. It's a bit ironic because of the first season, John Henry Iams saw that Superman as the Superman that, in his world, that killed a load of people. So it's ironic that John Henry Iams' character is kind of becoming the very thing he feared about Superman, the brutality brutality, no, kill first, ask no questions sort of way. So the bottom line with the scene, when I saw that Clark was at home while Lois was kind of interrogating Pia as a journalist, trying to get her to confess the truth about Bruno Mannheim and their operation, and Clark's there with the boys. Because the other bit of the episode, Clark wanted to spend time with his son since he had a bit of time, but Jonathan looks like he's getting that chip on his shoulder, in which he tells his dad that he's going to do something else, as well as Jordan, as where Jordan tells John, well, our dad wants to spend time with us, and Jonathan's only answer was, well, he does that all the time, leaves us to do Superman things and he goes off. So we can see that. So while all three of them are there, Kyle goes to the house and he tells Clark, I know Jordan has powers, and Clark is trying to dissuade him. No, he doesn't. Can you just no, it's not true. And he's like, I'm not going to leave until I get answers. I don't get this logic. Let's say, it's true, but what business is it for Kyle to expose this fact? Has Jordan harmed anyone per se? Like, what's the bigger thing? And since he's dating Chrissy, he wanted Chrissy to publish this. Chrissy knows the truth, Lana knows the truth, Sarah knows the truth. The only big chip on the shoulder that Kyle will have now, knowing that I think in the next episode that everybody, well, basically the core people within the cast know, except for him, he probably will feel like an idiot, that people don't see him as someone serious. I don't agree with Kyle's approach, because even though there could be a superpowered person, what business is him to expose somebody else's secret or powers? It's kind of forcing somebody to reveal themselves without their permission, because that's the whole reason for a secret identity, so they can have some privacy. So as Kyle's there at the house telling Clark, come on, and Clark's with all his reservation, it's not true, go home. And in that moment, he hears back on the DOD that Pia has escaped with Lois, having Lois be as a hostage. Because we get discovered in episode 10, Bruno Mannheim finally finds the cure for Pia's cancer, I think using the bizarre Superman that he stole from the DOD. I think the only reason this cure worked on Pia, because she's a mutant, could survive that, as where with Lois is human, so we have to take that for what it is, because that was the other point within the episode saying, with all the Kryptonian technology, how come Superman cannot cure his wife? So they're saying with that logic, since Lois is human, we don't know how she will respond to it, maybe she can end up dying, that sort of thing. So when Clark hears that Pia has escaped, she's coming to go out from the DOD, hearing the explosions, he tells Kyle, just go home, as you can see in this particular scene. And Kyle is there going, no, I'm not leaving until I get answers. In that moment, Jordan and Jonathan come out, and then he looks to Jordan and he says, I know it's you, tell me the truth. And then Superman, aka Clark, uses the power of the two fingers. Imagine this kind of feels like Dragon Ball Z a little bit. He stops Kyle with just two fingers, and then Kyle comes to that cold realization. I don't know if he knew that instantly, but my understanding as the viewer, that Kyle realized that Clark is Superman, and I think in his mind he's he's realizing that Jonathan and Jordan are the sons of Superman. So he tells Kyle, after Kyle realizes that the two fingers stopped him like a brick wall, he tells Kyle, just go home, I'll explain everything tomorrow, in which Kyle sees Clark fly off from that little scene. So I've explained the gist from what I've, up to the series, how it is so far. So with episode 10, we end up with Bruno Mannheim, Pia, and their son that they escaped together. I don't know what's the end game of this particular season. Probably episode 15 reveal his name, Lex. But I just find it annoying that, well, it's kind of weird. They made Kyle into the annoying female, sometimes the female protagonist that won't stop. They made Kyle as that. Now, with the repercussions for the next episode, too much drama, but I just found that scene extremely annoying. What right does Kyle have to expose something like this? He's seeing the idea that Jordan with superpowers looking at trees, finding a mermaid to expose, exhibit, and I think Kyle wants to punch his fist against his chest and said, I exposed the secret, to give him some sort of importance. But anyway, this is the end of the video. To anybody who's reached it to the end, big thank you. And to any new viewers, really appreciate it. We can hit the subscribe button. Leave your comments down below, anything I should see that's not K-drama related. As you can see, I've recently been posting K-drama videos because that seems to be more interesting than what's going on at the moment. So, as I leave you always, stay safe, take care, bye.